This one is going to be we call it a pumpkin pudding, but it's really squash and sweet potatoes. It just has the consistency of a pumpkin pie. And I have put 6 garden or yard eggs in here. I prefer the yard eggs. They're much higher in choline than bought egg. And I also cooked the sweet potatoes and the squash. And I cooked them for an hour at 350. And then when they come out, one of the keys to trying to peel them is while they're still hot, if you'll just cover them with a towel, it'll make them sweat and the skin will just peels off. So it's easy to peel the potatoes that way. I've already got the squash in here. I only did 1 medium squash. I'm going to use 3 of the sweet potatoes that are the medium size, and I'm going to just barely cut them just so they go through the blender a little easier. I like to use at least 6 eggs in this recipe. Sometimes I use 8. I'm basically here again replacing the sugars with fats and proteins. This one's going to be a little more difficult to get running through the Vitamix. So we're going to stir it as well. I'm going to put in a half a can of the coconut milk. Again, here is cinnamon. I'm going to use a tablespoon of cinnamon. And I didn't have any fresh ginger, but I'm going to use the dried ginger. And I'm going to use about a teaspoon of ginger. If I was using fresh ginger, I would use about 1 inch and then cut it in small pieces. That way you don't get the fibers. If you cut it horizontally and vertically, you won't get the fibers. I'm also going to use about 1/2 teaspoon of the Celtic sea salt. I like to use the Celtic or the Himalayan because it has more minerals than just sodium. And again, I'm going to use a little bit of vanilla to make it seem a little sweeter than it actually is. I'm using about 1/2 teaspoon. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of the Zyla. You can actually, I'm going to use 3 because this is one that you can't add more to after the fact. So I'm going to blend it till it's smooth, and then I've put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom of this pan. I'm just going to pour this into the pan. There's no crust. And we're going to bake this for an hour or until it's solid on the top or really solid in the middle. It'll take about an hour at 325. So I put it on for an hour at 325, and I'll probably check it in about 45 minutes because I don't really want it to burn. It'll be the same consistency as a pumpkin pie.